So I'm bringing you today's story for two different reasons. The first one is a real sentimental reason. Now, Staintune pipes have been a big part of my motorcycling journey ever since I was a young fella. I've had a couple of Staintune pipes. My mate Nick growing up had a couple. And in the 90s, it was fair to say that Staintune pipes were the best pipes you could get and the best sounding pipes, and best of all, made right here. The second reason I'm bringing this story is because we almost lost Staintune out of the market completely. So the people that built Staintune from the beginning, and they did it for 40 odd years, it was time to retire and they wanted to sell the business. No one at all wanted to buy the business, so what they decided to do would shut down. It was just shut down Staintune. They needed to retire, they needed to go and enjoy their life. And if it wasn't for the company called Torqit, which is a four-wheel drive accessory stainless steel sort of a company, if they didn't reach out and buy Staintune and rebuild it, we would have lost it forever. So we're going to head north over the Brooklyn Bridge here. We're heading up to Beresfield to the Staintune Factory, and we're going to have a chat to some of the team up there, and we're going to learn a little bit about Staintune history, the takeover, and most importantly where Staintune's going into the future and how it can affect you. Now, if you haven't heard of Staintune, it's time to do some research, because they are one of the best exhausts on the market, and more importantly, these exhausts from Staintune, they outlive almost every bike that they sit on. There's stories of bikes doing 500,000-600,000 kilometres, having multiple engine rebuilds and still having the standard Staintune pipe on the back of it and operating as well as it did on its first day. So let's jump in the car, head north and go and talk to the team at Staintune.
Roothy's Harley, 35 years, still the same muffler.
It's crazy, 35 years on a bike and it's still going.
Yeah, that's right.
Insane.
Yeah.
That's quality and value all in one. G'day throttlers, welcome back to the channel. I'm up here near Newcastle in Beresfield at the Staintune Factory. We've got Graeme here. Thanks for joining me, Graeme.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Graeme's going to tell us about Staintune, just a bit of background. When I was a young bloke in the early 90s, I had a bike with a Staintune pipe on it, and it was my favourite pipe I've ever owned. The company's almost disappeared, but it's back and it's coming strong, and Graeme's going to tell you all about it. So Graeme, thanks for coming onto the channel, mate.
Mate, my pleasure.
Mate, tell me a little bit about the history of Staintune. Where did it start?
Well, Staintune started back in Five Dock in Sydney, I believe, with Sandy Campbell 41 years ago.
Wow.
And Sandy moved out of the garage in Five Dock into a premises in Auburn.
Yep.
And then not too much longer after that, he moved us to Mittagong. That's where I actually first met Sandy, down in Mittagong. Yep. So I've actually been selling Staintune product for about over 30 years anyway.
Right.
So
wow.
yeah, to me it's historic as well, and I've got lots of friends that play motorcycles, and amongst that is Ron Young, who has, to me, the oldest Staintune system in captivity, because he actually fitted that to a Motor Guzzi in 1981.
Wow.
Yeah, actually even before the Staintune logo was stamped into the product.
Right.
Yeah, so
that's amazing.
Excellent. Yeah,
and it's still going strong, no doubt.
Yeah, it is. It's still in Ron's workshop right now. He doesn't own the motorcycle, but he maintains European motorcycles, particular Ducatis, for lots of people, and he's still got that Guzzi.
So am I right to say that not too long ago, Staintune was destined for disappearance, essentially?
Well, yeah. So what actually happened was Sandy's got old, like me.
Oh, we all do.
He's a couple of years older than me, and he decided to retire. He tried to sell the business off, but in that business climate, it was difficult to sell businesses.
Yep.
So he decided to, when he couldn't sell it, to auction it off. And fortunate for me and for everybody else that Torqit decided to buy Staintune. Since they're in the stainless exhaust business with four-wheel drives, it just was a natural progression.
So the company Torqit that took over, tell us a little bit about Torqit.
Well, I've only worked for Torqit for 6 months, but you know, it's a great company to work for, and you know, that classic Australian company started out small and just kept growing and growing and growing, expanding with the market purely because they've got such high quality product.
Yeah, and so they're a four-wheel drive based company?
So Land Cruisers, that's their base product, but of course others that go with it, so Hiluxes, Isuzus, Colorados.
I saw you rock up in a little Jimny. Has that got a Torqit exhaust on it?
Mate, the Jimny's got far more than a Torqit exhaust. Yeah. It's got breather, the snorkel, the airbox. They also do electronics, so which is where we're going to head to with Staintune again as well. So Staintune in the past had electronic upgrades to ignition services, and we're going to do that as well.
Awesome. So tell me about why are the Staintune pipes so unique?
I think it's the quality. You know, like as I said, I've been selling them for 30 years. You know, I've got friends that have got them on their bikes. Okay, Roothy, John Rooth, the perfect example. Yeah. You know, 35 years he's had an exhaust system on his Harley. Yeah. It's done 750,000 Ks. It's up to its third big end. Yep. Still on its first Staintune.
If you don't know Roothy, check him out. He's one of the legends of Australian media, motorcycles, four-wheel driving, everything, yeah?
Absolutely. You know, and it wasn't long ago I sent John a muffler for a Himalayan that he's put up and shared it around the world again.
I just saw his Himalayan video the other day, actually.
No, and you know, we are progressing. We are heading off into the rest of the Royal Enfield range because it is so popular and so suitable to Staintune product. Yeah. But also others, so even into the Chinese market. So CF Moto have an 800 MT that's based on the KTM 790. A very high quality Chinese motorcycle and good enough for us to build a Staintune and put it on it. Yeah, absolutely. So you've brought up a couple of models now. So from what I noticed as a observer, when you re-established the business, you sort of went down to a couple of key models just to keep going, and now you're growing again? Well, yeah, we had to crawl before we walk.
Absolutely.
But we did get the top 100 selling jigs. So we have jigs for things like the Honda VFR and VTR Firestorm that we keep getting asked for, and we just keep saying, hey, you know, sooner than later. There is some other classic examples as well. So the early BMWs and the Ducati Condis that we were famous for, we're heading back down that road.
Yeah, awesome. And you brought up Royal Enfield. I'm a massive fan of the Royal Enfield 650s, and I can't see a better bike to have a set of Staintunes on it than the 650s.
Yeah, they're definitely my plans. And other people have built systems for the Royal Enfield and just gone that classic British reverse cone megaphone system. I'm planning that we might go with the Conti style exhaust for the Royal Enfield, and I just know that when that gets out there, people are just going to love it.
Well, I'm teetering on the edge of buying another 650. I had one when they first arrived, and I've only got my Street Glide at the moment, but I want a small bike. So if I get another Interceptor, and you guys do a set of pipes for it, I'm here in an instant. You can even use it as a test bike.
Yeah, look, the Royal Enfield are more than happy that we're producing stuff. So they have a new model about to be launched at the end of this month called the Scram. It's very similar to the Himalayan. We've already built a system for that. And then out of our old stuff, so the 500 Bullet classic exhaust that was very similar to the early British single stuff, we're adapting one of those across to their 350 Comet and Meteor as well. Right, So Royal Enfield dealers are particularly pleased with me, I know that.
No, I think it's great because I remember the sound of these on the bikes that I used to run in the 90s, and they were seriously the best sounding pipe on the market. There's a lot of competition now from international, but I can imagine that they're still sounding just as peachy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about a stainless exhaust. With it's entirely stainless, so it's a stainless core and a stainless silencing mechanism as well. So it's just got that deeper tone, that better tone. Yeah,
absolutely. I agree 100%. All right, so future plans for Staintune, like as you say, you've got to crawl before you walk, and you guys are walking strong now. It's only a matter of time until you're running again. So tell me about where Staintune's going in the near or the distant future.
Well, I probably get about 20 messages a week asking me for this model and for that model.
Yep.
So everybody knows that we've started off in adventure bike.
Yep.
Stuff purely and simply because they were the classics of Staintune as well. So DR 650, the KLR 650.
Yep.
They have a new model now that comes with an exhaust spout that you're lucky to get your little finger into.
Right.
You know, so to be able to put a Staintune on it, it drops 4 kilos in weight, it picks up 3 horsepower.
Yep.
But the most important thing, it actually sounds like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And several other motorcycles on the market don't sound like motorcycles either.
Yep.
Strangely enough, original equipment exhausts on Harley Davidsons. You know, we keep getting asked for that.
Yeah.
So we're going to branch into Harley in the not too distant future.
Interesting, eh?
Well, they've got their Pan American, which is
Yep.
an adventure touring bike. And there's the Sports to Rest that runs the same model.
Yep.
They've both got stainless headers, so having a slip-on onto the back makes sense.
Yep.
And Harley have seemingly relaxed their standards now on putting aftermarket exhaust systems other than Screaming Eagle on their product.
Yep.
So, you know, we're ready for them.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, as a Harley owner,
Yeah.
you've got to spend a lot of money to make a Harley sound like a Harley these days.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
you know, to make a Harley sound like a Staintune will probably be even better.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, no,
Awesome.
it's in our plans.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What a nice bloke Graeme was. It was so nice to be able to walk around the Staintune factory, have a look. A brand that's had so much of an influence over my motorcycle journey since I was a young fella. And to know that this brand has had a new lease of life and is moving into the future, so damn exciting. I can't wait to put a Staintune on a bike in the future without a doubt. Now what they have done is give me a whole handful of stickers, Staintune stickers. Now that's a tongue twister. That's taken me about 10 goes to say that on video. But what I want to do, if you want a Staintune sticker for your bike, your car, your toolbox, whatever it might be, like this video, comment below the video, mention anything about Staintune. It might be a story that you've got about Staintune in your youth, like I had it in my youth. Maybe you just want to say that Staintune is cool. Maybe you just want to say, I want a Staintune sticker, whatever it might be, down below. Now, I've only got 25 here, so the first 25 that leave that comment, I will contact you and I will send these anywhere in Australia for you so you can whack them on your toolbox. And in fact, if I've got enough throttle down under stickers, I might throw one in there as well, providing they don't run out. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. Throttle on, stay safe, and until the next video, I'll see you later.